Okay then, time for an IELTS Writing Task 2 question. So again, this is very similar to the TOEFL Independent. This is why I'm doing this one right after the last one, so that I can be in the same sort of mindset. Anyways, let's get started. So we're going to follow the same sort of structure that we do for any argumentative essay. We always want paragraph structure with an introduction, more than one body paragraph. Usually for a short, quick essay like the one we're doing, we want only two, and then we want a conclusion. Okay, so we start the introduction. How do we start the introduction? Like I said before, excuse me, ooh, where's that hyphen? Right there. Like I said before, you want to essentially restate the question. Some people say that you should make a hook, something really interesting that will draw the reader in. My philosophy is you're going to feel stressed, you're going to feel nervous. Stick with what's comfortable, stick with what's basic and gets you through it, because what you're really showing off more than anything in the essay portion is your ability to organize, to be coherent and logical. Okay, if you want a perfect score, if you have 2 years to prepare, go watch some other videos where we get really detailed. This is just showing you how to make a quick essay when you feel constrained for time. So we're going to restate the question because that's the easier option. Okay. Anyways, this is our question down here in this really weird font. Let me change that, at least to this. So it says, longer lifespans and improvements in the health of older people suggest that people over the age of 65 can continue to live full and active lives. In what ways can society benefit from the contribution that older people can make? All right, so this is the real question. This is just a setup. We don't really have to worry about that. Just thinking now, in today's world, what can we benefit from old people? Interesting. Okay, so we're going to restate the question. All right. You want to have a set of these kinds of phrases, without a doubt. The last one I started with many people believe. These kinds of phrases are good ones to hang on to get you started. So I say without a doubt, and it's a way to start to paraphrase this in a different way from the way they're doing it. So I'll say, without a doubt, people are living longer and healthier lives. All right. That can qualify as a hook. It's really just restating the situation, right? And I can imply a sort of progression of thought where I say this leads to the question of how our society might benefit from this added longevity. Longevity is a good word that just means being long, right? Long life, basically, right? All right. So how can society benefit from the contribution that older people can make? So I have to think about ways to benefit from old people. Those are my two ideas that I need to think of. How can we benefit from older people? Okay, obvious one is experience, wisdom, right? So, to use them as counsel, right? Counsel. I believe that's the right spelling of that version of counsel. Yeah, with a C-I-L, that's a group of people. With a S-E-L, I'm fairly certain that's the verb to give advice. So hopefully I'm not wrong there. But yeah, experience and wisdom, counseling, like that. What's another way? Unskilled labor, right? I'm thinking about some stores in my country where I see older gentlemen doing very simple things, greeting people as they come in the store and stuff like that. All right. So my thesis statement is what comes next. Thesis statement. That means statement. That means your position, your view, your stance, your argument, and how you are going to prove it. Okay? So, in that way, I'm going to say something like, this leads to the question. Right, so with their extensive, want to use as many 3-syllable or more words as you can in the adjective slots, mostly. That's the best place to show off your vocabulary. It'll feel natural, and you're still, being nice and expressive. So with their extensive, wells of experience, a well like that you get from water from, so it's saying that there's a place that goes very deep that you can draw from their experience and wisdom. Extensive wells of experience and knowledge. They say older people. Another word for older is elderly. And we can always say the elderly to refer to the population as a whole. Would be well suited for positions of counsel. And in other cases, for positions of simple, unskilled labor. Okay? With their expensive wells of experience and knowledge, the elderly would be well suited for positions of counsel, and in other cases, for positions of simple, unskilled labor. I put a comma there because I'm separating two adjectives that have similar importance. Okay? All right. So, that's the basics. I can add another transition sentence there later if I have time, but I'm mostly worried about finishing this on time right now. So remembering body paragraph has a topic sentence, so we set the scene for the paragraph. Then we have supporting evidence that is backed up by analysis that will tie the supporting evidence, connect it to the topic sentence, and therefore the thesis statement. Okay, so those are the main points we need to make sure that we get. So topic sentence, and we will say with years of experience come great knowledge, wisdom. We'll use wisdom here. All right, with years of experience come great wisdom. Really simple. I'm just trying to get this stuff down right now because this is kind of a more difficult question. I'm not really sure where to go with this. So we just get an idea down, right? We say simple things because a simple but complete essay is going to be better than a slightly better but incomplete essay. So we want to complete it first, and we can edit it later if we have extra time, okay? So with years of experience come great wisdom. Supporting evidence. All right, I need a personal example or something universally true and impossible to refute here. So supporting evidence. I can't really think of a good example myself personally right now, so what I'm going to do is make something up. And that's totally okay in these exams. It's not a test of the truth, it's a test of your English skills. So supporting evidence, I'll say something like, when I was younger, or when I was in high school, I was confused. So this is story time. I'm starting with a story to give an example of this. I'm going to talk about a guidance counselor that I had in high school who with their wisdom, they were an older fellow, and with their wisdom they helped me decide what to do with my life. So I'm going to tell a story. When you tell a story, you want to have a good beginning, middle, and an end if possible. So I set the stage here. I say, when I was in high school, I was confused about what I wanted to do with my life. Okay, I'll transition with luckily, my school had a guidance counselor who was always available for 2 students. Okay. He was an older gentleman. This is a way to say someone who's older in a more respectful way, using the respectful word gentleman. He was an older gentleman, and so he had many decades of life experience that he drew from to advise me on my decisions. All right. And then we want to finish an end to this story. So I'll say, with his help, I was able to choose the right university and field of study for myself, and I will always be grateful to him for that. Okay, so there's our example. It's a personal experience that didn't actually happen, but it's a good example for this. And it's something very believable. Okay, and I didn't give a whole lot of details, but with a beginning, middle, and end to your story, at the very least, it becomes believable. More so, right? So now we need to analyze, we need to take the story and explain why, very simply, possibly, why this explains it, just to be clear so that we don't miss anything, because the way that we worded it maybe isn't self-explanatory to the examiner. So I want to say, for example, his or this older guidance counselor used his extra years of experience, wisdom, knowledge. Using synonyms, we want to use as many alternate words and repeat as little as possible. His older guidance counselor used his extra years of knowledge to help me in a way that a younger professional may not have been able to do. Okay? Using fancy grammar, you always want to try and do that. Learn how to use to be able to. Learn how to do it if you don't know how. You got to learn how to do that, because otherwise you're going to be using can't and could, and you're going to be using it wrong. Okay? Alright, so that's more or less the first body paragraph done. And if we have time, we'll come back for more. But we need to move on to the topic sentence because we're running out of time. We've only got about 13 minutes before I have to go. And this is to simulate the time crunch that you may inevitably feel. So body paragraph, they can do unskilled work. All right, so I can contrast this from experience and wisdom. For those older people who People is okay. I'm going to change it to citizens now that I think about it. You know, members of society actually would even be better. I don't know why I'm wasting my time on this. For those older members of society who may not have acquired such useful life experience as to serve as effective counselors, right? So kind of transitioning, I tend to do this. I use my topic sentence to transition from the previous body paragraph instead of writing a linking sentence in the conclusion of the first one. For me, that it works fine. And now I transition to the topic here. For those older, right? We can benefit from their health and ability to perform unskilled tasks. All right. Supporting evidence. All right. I'm going to give the example that I was thinking of. You know, in my country, there is a supermart. What is the word for that? It's like there's a chain of grocery stores. It's more than that, but called Walmart. Okay. And in these stores, they employ older workers to do simple tasks, simple jobs instead of tasks. I already said tasks, so I'll change it to jobs. Well, jobs like greeting incoming workers. No, shoppers. Excuse me. Right. And then I can explain the effect that this has. This simple addition to their staff gives shoppers a much more welcoming feeling as they enter the store, ensuring that they will be more likely to return again on another day. All right. Analyze. Right. Can society benefit? Analyze. In a way, this is actually my analysis. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this all together down here underneath. If you're writing in the test, obviously you're not going to organize it in this way. I've organized the essay in this sort of outline just so that you can watch it happen, watch it sort of come together. But obviously a real essay looks like this. It does not look like what we're looking at up here. Looks like what we're looking at down here. Alright, and it's looking good. It's looking like we're gonna be at or above our word limit. Our word expectations might be a better way to say it. Because in the IELTS Writing Task 2, you need to write 250 words. They expect you to take 40 minutes for this one. That's why it's a slightly more difficult question to answer than your typical ones. But yeah, here we go. So here's our paper. So at this point, I'm going to look one more time at this paragraph. For those older members of society who may not have acquired such useful life experiences as to serve as effective counselors, so as to we can benefit from their health and ability to perform unskilled tasks. In my country, there's a chain of grocery stores called Walmart, and in these stores, they employ older workers to do simple jobs like greeting incoming shoppers. This simple addition to their staff gives shoppers a much more welcoming feeling as they enter the store, ensuring that they will be more likely to return again on another day. Yeah, so with simple, like I've already said simple, with by providing employment opportunities such as these, our society undoubtedly benefits. That's an adverb. It's also good to put big words into your adverbs. Learn some basic ones like undoubtedly and surely and certainly whenever you want to just say that you feel very confident about something. It's a nice big word that you can throw in there. So anyways, we got to finish up. By providing employment opportunities such as these, our society undoubtedly benefits from the healthy. How did they say it in the question? The longer lifespans and improvements from the. Sometimes you can really just rip straight from the question. If you're putting it in the body paragraph, that's even better, because in the introduction it feels lazy, but in the analysis of a body paragraph it feels like, oh, okay, yeah, we really are connecting straight to this, right? So from the longer lifespans and improvements in the health of our older people. Boom, done, cool, all right. And then the conclusion, because I'm running out of time. Conclusion is generally summarize thesis statement, summarize body paragraphs, and that's it, okay? So down here for that we're gonna go with the improving with the recent improvements in overall health, older people are living longer and with more able bodies. As a society, we can, what's another word for benefit? We can benefit. What's another word for benefit? Take advantage. We can take advantage of this by seeking these people out for counsel, drawing on their years of wisdom, or we can also take we can also improve our communities by letting them work in ways that bring positivity. Positivity. That's the right word. I don't know why that says that it's misspelled, because it's definitely spelled correctly. Is it not? Positivity. Is that not a word? Whatever. We're going to leave it. That bring positivity to us all. Alright. So, it's nothing perfect. I never claim to say that I'm making perfect essays. I'm making an essay to show you the process that I use to write something very quickly when I am under the pressure of time. Okay, so I can show you how simple you want to keep it when you feel like you have nothing and you just really need something. And here we have 344 words, so we are well over the requirement. Okay, we could have done this with less of this story. We could have done with even without this, but here we go. Here you have it. This is an example of an essay, IELTS Task 2, done in 30 minutes or less. So thank you very much. I hope you liked it.